So, welcome to Northeastern, okay, and to the Telecommunication Networks program. That's who I am. I'm your program director, okay, and your academic advisor, okay, both. Okay. And I met Alison. Alison over here is the program coordinator program. So she'll be helping you with issues with registration, clearance for graduation, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of the logistical things. Okay. Okay, so the degree is a Master of Science in Telecommunication Networks, and this semester is the first semester it's officially called that name. Okay. Up to this point it was Telecommunication Systems Management, so I hope you like the change. Okay. And it's a program that comes across from 3 different colleges here at Northeastern. The School of Engineering, which is where we're in. Also the Computer Information Science, CCIS, and also in conjunction with the physics group. So you can take a wide range of courses, not to say every course, but a wide range of courses in all 3 colleges. Okay. So this is often referred to as professional and multidisciplinary degree. In other words, this is a degree program that's aimed at industry, not research. So the goal is to prepare our graduates to go out and get a job, right, and earn money, right, and all that good stuff. Okay. I mean, there have been a couple of cases where a couple of students have gone on for PhDs, but that is not the expectation of this program, okay? And the expectation is that hopefully you want to co-op, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but at the end you will get a nice, well-paid job, either in this country or back in your home country or wherever. Okay. So this is what this says. Goal of the program to prepare graduates for a career in the telecom and networking industry, here or somewhere else in the world, in general fields like networking, wireless communications, application development. I mean, the program is flexible enough so that you can end up working from anything from a wireless company to Amazon, right, AWS or whatever. I mean, and our graduates end up all kinds of places. So the kind of companies are the network and telecom side, service providers, operators, equipment suppliers, application development, even startups. Now, have any questions, just ask, okay? Don't wait until the end, okay? Because you'll probably forget it by then. So, if you have any questions, just... So, the degree requirements is 32 credit hours. Which basically means 8 courses, and there's a mixture of core courses and elective courses. So the core courses are all telecom courses, TNET courses, and you can take electives from elsewhere in the College of Engineering, from our own program, the Telecom Networking program, the TNET program, Engineering Management, Information Systems, Computer System Engineering, Electrical Engineering. I'm not saying you can take any course you want, right? But there's a prescribed list of electives in the list, and we can talk also about if you want to take a course that's not on that list. That's also a possibility. And then over in computer science, there's a computer science program itself, and there's also a program over there, information assurance, if you're more interested in the security area. So some of the best security courses are in computer science itself. And then the business school, you can take courses on different kinds of programs, particularly the part-time MBA program and the technological entrepreneurship program, that's a certificate program.
Any option of replacing a core course with an elective?
You can only do that if you've already met the requirements for the core course. If you've taken that material elsewhere, otherwise no. That's why they're core courses, right?
Yeah.
So everybody takes them, right? And this program, there's no requirement for a thesis or a project. Most students complete this program just purely taking courses, 8 courses. It is possible to take a 4-credit project, small number of students do that, not very many. And many, it's a lot easier actually to take courses. If you want to do a project and you've got some idea you want to work on for a semester or so, fine. Okay, so you say 8 courses. If you're missing prereqs, possibly more than that, that doesn't happen too often. And on occasion it's possible to take more than 8 courses. Most students don't want to, right? But it is possible to take more than 8. You can't extend your program to take extra courses. So when you meet the 32 credits and meet all the other requirements, you have to graduate, right? That's an immigration rule. So 4 core, 4 elective. And this is the answer to the question on the core. If most material has been taken, the only exceptions would be if you've got another university or transferring it to another university, graduate school, and you would take basically the same course or most of the material. Overall, you need to take 2 business courses, okay? The core business course and 1 elective. That's the minimum. You can take more. You can't take, it's limited. You can't take more than a total of 4, really, because you have to take 3 core technical courses, and you have to take at least 1 technical elective. So the most business course you can take is 4. The minimum is 2. Most students take the minimum, okay? But it's up to individual students. Some may end up taking 3. Any questions or? Okay, so the major change for this academic year, starting in the fall, is that we changed a number of the courses, the core courses. So we dropped, so previously, if you didn't know what the previous core courses were, that's fine, right? But if you did, 5310, 5320 are being dropped, and they're 5320 has been offered for the last time this semester, but only for students who started before fall 17, right? And these are 2 new core courses that are added, 5350, and I have a slide in each of these coming up. The reason we're doing this was this was the communications course, 5310, and we decided to merge that content with the content of the department that we want to keep. Merge that with parts of the old 5320, but so the whole course has been given a major makeover. And also we made changes also to 5330, which is our core data networking course. So we added that course, we added more software to the 5330, and so we've got now 2 networking courses as core courses. So they would put more Python than the first core course. 5350 now is an infrastructure course. Okay, so then it's a single 1 course that covers all the necessary communications theory for especially students who don't have a communications background. Just what you need to know to understand the infrastructure of the network. So these are now the 4 core courses. 5330, which you'll be taking this semester. Everybody takes that, along with the lab that goes with that. Okay. And then you have the choice to take. You may take this one in the next semester, or this semester, or maybe not. And then these are the 4 core courses: 1 business course and 3 technical. Okay. So so the change was made starting in the fall. 5350 and 5360 are being taught for the first time this semester. I'm teaching the 5350 course, and Professor Sridhar is teaching the 5360 course. So all these 4 courses are being offered this semester. However, as new students, you won't be taking the first one, right? And maybe in the fall you'll take one of the others. So, okay, so credit offered regularly, and you need to get a minimum grade of B- in your core courses, otherwise you have to repeat the course. Take it a second time.
instead take the core course in the summer semester?
It won't be offered during the summer. We don't offer very many technical courses during the summer, no. Summer is, usually we don't have enough students on campus, one thing. And summer is strange because summer 1, summer 2, like summer 1 is like 7 weeks, May and June, then summer 2 is July and August, and then we have a full summer. We've got 3 different kinds of semesters over the summer. And there isn't really enough demand to offer, you know, a lot of these courses during the summer. So we only offer them during what we call the academic year, fall and spring. So in the summer, the main courses are available. There are some, you'll find some technical courses available. I think in computer system engineering, maybe you'll find 1 or 2 courses there, or in computer science, you find 1 or 2. Not much of a selection, though, right? But you see a lot of business courses are available. A lot of business courses are available during the summer, especially during the summer 1 semester. Summer 2 is a lot less because most people want to take a holiday or vacation, right? So for summer 1, which is May and June, there's quite a lot of courses, business courses available. I know you probably don't want to take a business course at this point, but you know, coming towards the end, it can be useful for students when they want to get close to graduation. But other things you can do in the summer besides take courses. You can do a lot of studying on your own. Really, you can.
So by when can we get the list of the courses available?
That will be available when?
That's going to be in February.
February sometime.
Or,
It comes up pretty soon, really.
yeah, actually, I think it will become available online the end of this month, but registration isn't until February for the summer.
So you can look at the list and then you get ready. The list comes available online for about 2 weeks ahead of when it's actually registration is open. And then later on this semester, fall registration will open up, right? Because even though it may be a long way away from fall, but you know, and you need to be ready for that because it's first come, first served, you know, getting into courses, all online. So the lab course, which you'll be taking this semester, is a companion course. It's mandatory. There's no credits, all that. And this semester will be just a single lab because it's a small class. In the fall, generally we have to break it up to multiple sections, right? Spring is usually just one session. Okay. And this is just this is on the web. This is just basically giving you an idea of what's in the telecom. This is a new course, in-depth treatment of wireline and wireless infrastructure networks supporting all telecom, internet, and enterprise applications. That's basically the core of what this is. There's other topics that are covered. And the other new course is this course here. It's really a follow-on course from the 5330 course. Okay, so it's more in-depth. Okay, it deals with QoS. It deals with a lot more in security. Okay, access control and network level security. A whole bunch of these protocols, and it deals also with network design and architecture for cloud computing, data centers, CDMs, and deals with a lot of the scaling issues for large networks. So it's a lot of material here. So you get in first level instruction on 5330. You get more detail. There's also with projects in this course too. Okay. So electives are in general 2 areas. There's technical electives and business electives. And the technical electives run from communications, networking, obviously, and development of software, systems, and applications, very broad. The business areas are engineering and project management, and telecom policy and marketing. So a lot of these courses, most of the students tend to take courses from the engineering management program, courses like project management, decision making, financial management, but others take courses over in the business school where you've got a range of courses, all kinds of strategic kind of courses. Depends what your interests are. So this is basically repeating myself here. You need You need to take at least one course on the business electives and one on the technical electives. And then then the other two electives can be whatever you like, business, technical. So we have a list prescribed, in other words, we have a list drawn up ahead of time. If you want to take something that's not on that list, okay, say there's some, for example, some students want to take algorithms over computer science, right? Which I generally approve, but it's not on the list. So if you want to do that, just send me an email ahead of time, and I will let you know whether or not you can take it. And then you will need to fill in at some point a petition form, because otherwise, when you come to graduate, and Alison's there checking your list of courses you've taken, and she's checking that against the what's in the catalogue, right, in terms of the what prescribed courses are and so on. She's checking to make sure there's a match. And so she finds one that's not a match, then you need a petition, you see. That's why you need those petitions in there. So then it's clear to her that paper trail showing that all your courses are taken care of. But sometimes a student doesn't ask me, goes ahead and takes the class, it has happened, and then when the course is over, they come to me and say, oh, I took that class, and I say, no, it has happened. So that's basically, $5,000. We may have learned something, and that's good, but I mean, it doesn't count towards your degree, so you have to take another course then. So just ask me ahead of time. Okay, that's all you gotta do. Send me an email and say, if it's some really strange course, which nobody else has asked for, explain why. If it's something like algorithms and so on, that's fair enough. But there's some other course that sometimes students find a course somewhere and I've never heard of, and there are certain courses that won't count, courses from the College of Professional Studies, they don't count, okay? Any undergraduate courses don't count. All courses have to be graduate, minimum requirement to count for any graduate degree. Our courses from CPS, the College of Professional Studies, they don't count either, okay? Other colleges may or may not. If you get approval from me, you're okay. But getting approval from me doesn't necessarily you're able to get into the class. You still may not be able to get into the class, right? That's another issue for various reasons. Okay. These are the list of electives in the communication networking area. Mobile wireless communication networking, this is not offered this semester. IP telephony, which is offered. The next one here is not offered this semester either. It was offered last semester. Then we often offer special topics. That's a way we bring in some new topic, and the first time around we'll try a special topic because you can do it pretty easily, quick. You don't have to get it formally approved or anything. Like for example, we started a year ago. We had a special topic in the Internet of Things, right? And now it's an official course. But in the CSYE program, CSYE 6510, all is the principles of, the fundamentals of the Internet of Things. Then we have other courses like wireless networking, network security, approved electives over computer science, network security in particular, a very good course. And then in electrical engineering, you've got wireless communication systems, a very good wireless communications course, and there's one on mobile and wireless networking as well. And there may be others you're interested in as well. And then the information assurance program, network security practices, it's another security course, more of a hands-on, have a difference in this course here. This is more theoretical, it's a really good course. It's okay too. And it's got a lab associated with it. So there's, as I say, you're not limited to that list. That's the communication and networking electives. And then very often there'll be special topics offered over in different colleges as well. So it's always good to look around and see what's been offered when it comes online for the fall. Look and see what courses. And you need to look at more than once probably because sometimes courses get added as well. Sometimes students find out about courses or some of their friends hear about it and they tell them, especially courses that are not normally offered. On the software side, we offered a course on Linux, okay? Which is offered twice a year, fall and spring. Computer science is a course in mobile application development. That's in college computer science. These ones are in the College of Engineering. It's a Java course, okay? And network structure and cloud computing is a cloud computing course, which has Java as a prereq. Okay? Then there's some data courses. Example, there's the data management database design. Used to be very popular with our students, not so popular anymore, but some students still take it. Another one on smartphones, web development. But as I say, other courses, can be, some students are interested in another course like algebra, computer science, and as long as you get prior approval from me. There is a lot of flexibility here. Okay, graduate certificates from the College of Engineering. We have a number of graduate certificates. So there's, it's the number of credits for a certificate is 16 credits, which means 4 courses. Total of 16 credits, and you have to have a GPA of 3.00 to get your certificate. If you're coming in for if you're an international student and you're coming in for a master's program, right, and you want to do a certificate, you must finish the certificate at the same time or before your master's degree. In other words, you can't stay on for an extra semester to get a. If you finish your degree, say in May, right, you can't stay on until the end of the year finishing up your certificate. No, you have to finish at the same time because your I-20 is based around your degree, not your certificate. Now, if you come here just to do a certificate, that's different, right? If you have an I-20 based on your certificate, that's different. But most of our students obviously come here with an I-20 based on a master's. But you can do this in parallel with it. So there's a whole bunch of certificates that are available. So the trouble is, a lot of the courses for these certificates are not courses that are normally taken for the telecom program. So you end up taking a lot of extra courses. And in general, for most of these certificates, you need to take at least one extra course. So it's an extra expense. And also some semesters maybe you have to take some extra courses. It depends on your schedule. You could take during the summertime or different things could happen. So you don't have to take 3 courses in the semester. But if you really want to do both, it's probably going to cost an extra course. Okay. And there's a whole range of them. I mean, I think, what's her name, runs there's a session set on usually each semester on certificates, so you can learn all about all the certificates. I'm not going to go through them, okay? I just note these are some of the ones that probably would look or match best with the telecom program. Data mining engineering certificate, computer science engineering certificate, engineering management. If you want to focus on the business side, you could take enough courses over there. You have to probably take one extra course. Technology systems management is a little bit different. But the last 2 are very much more business oriented. But you can, and they will require 1 extra course, but because they need 4 business courses, and you need to take, you have your core, our core business course plus 3 others, so you've got to take 1 extra course to meet that requirement. Okay. Any questions?
I missed the point. This has one business subject also?
Which one?
This graduate certificate?
Some do and some don't. You see, like engineering management does. If you take a graduate certificate in engineering management, that's 4 business courses. And so you could count you could take 3 of them as electives towards double count. You have to double count. You could take 3 of them as electives in the telecom program. And then the 4th one, you have to take extra. Because the policy course, which is a business course for us, doesn't count towards a certificate, you see. They've got 4 very specific courses, think it's engineering management, economic decision making, financial management, I think it's organizational psychology, I think there's 4. And they're very 4 definite courses, you see, so you'd have to take those courses. And that's true of all the others as well. So these 2 are mainly business, these 2 are mainly technical. In all cases, you're going to have to take one. So you'll end up taking a total of 36 credits. So you get a degree and a certificate. It's up to you. Don't do it or not. Just letting you know. And you don't have to make a decision now, you know? You really don't. Because in your first semester, you'll be taking probably, you know, either 2 core courses or a core course and a technical elective. Which you have to take again, can't take a technical anyway. But if you're thinking about it, you probably need to start thinking about it in the second semester for sure.
So, again, a question. So, if I understand it rightly, the TSM means the telecom networks. I have to take 3 subjects from my existing subject and 1 extra subject.
Sorry,
If
for which one?
TSM. Like, if
This
I
one
have
here,
to-
this one here?
Yes.
Technology systems management.
Yes.
That is,
3 subjects which I would be doing in my
no, the technology systems management is 4 business courses.
all 4
So
business.
this is a business, this is from the engineering management program.
Okay.
I know it looks like TSM, yeah, but it's not. It's
Okay,
not
it's
our
technology.
TSM.
It's not.
This is a business.
Business subject.
Yeah. So it includes, I think, 3 of them. It overlaps with this one to a certain extent. I mean, some of the courses are the same. I don't recall offhand what the courses are.
So where can we get the list of the courses?
They're on the website. They're on the website. They're on the looking at certificates, and it's
Any possibility overlapping with our courses, like in?
these. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These ones overlap. Can be used to overlap this because you can take. If you take 3, if you take. Maybe I'll jump ahead. That's slides. Business electives. There's 3 business electives in College of Engineering, right? Those 3, you see, can be used as business electives for telecom program. They also count towards the engineering management certificate. And I think at least 2 of them count towards the technology systems management certificate. That's my recollection. Maybe all 3 of them do, I'm not sure. But I mean, so there's overlap, you see. Yeah, if there was no overlap, yeah, you'd have to take a lot of extra courses. But because of this overlap, and they allow this overlap. In general, if we're taking 2 master's degrees, they don't allow that. You know, they can't say, you know, take 2 more courses, now I get a master's in computer science. No. But for a master's and a certificate, yes, they allow that. They allow double counting as it were. But they're all of the courses, they're all listed on the College of Engineering website. And as I said, it will be a session, I think, just about, usually there is every semester, a session for all new incoming students explaining all the certificates in the next couple of weeks. Okay, this is a graduate certificate in broadband wireless systems, which is one that you can take. So it's available to telecom students. These are the courses. So you can see 2 of the courses here are core courses, okay, 533 and 5350. The course on computers and electrical engineering and wireless communications, and the mobile wireless communications and networking course, which is offered to Johnny once a year. They're the courses that make up the certificate. And so you can do this without taking any extra courses. Okay, they all count. And the one for IP telephony we're updating because changes to the core courses, we have to make some changes to the courses.
So by when will this get updated?
Oh, I think sometime the next month or so.
Okay, within this.
Yeah, and then it'll be posted, yeah. Put it out of date now. Okay. There is, just that you know, there's a graduate certificate in technological entrepreneurship. This is from the business school, okay? And Business schools grant certificates only take 12 credits. Okay. Ours take 16. Okay. That's the way it is. Their courses over there are all 3 credit courses, so you take 4 courses, but it only counts towards 2. So in that case, it makes it a little easier to match, really, because you can take 4 courses over there with 12 credits. So you can take purely technical business electives, right? Out of this program, you can get your certificate. The downside is you take a lot of business courses, you don't take any hardly, you only take 1 technical elective. So it depends what your career goals are. You know, if you really want to focus very much on the business side, this is a good way to go. However, if you want to go technical job, you're better off focusing on the technical courses, really, and follow with the certificates. So, so you get the certificate in technology entrepreneurship. And the whole idea is this is for people who want to start with a small company, generally, basically. And the courses are all from the ENTR, they all start with ENTR or TCA, which is started. So in that case there, you would take our 4 core courses, 16 credits, 1 technical elective, and then you take 4 courses out of their program. And now then you've got our degree and you've got their certificate. It's pretty straightforward. No, so you're going to take 32 credits total. I mean, it's possible to take more if you wanted to, as long as you graduate at the same time. You know, you finish your certificate at the same time or earlier than the your master's program. So it is possible to take more than 1 technical course, but it's going to cost you more. And if you have any interest in that, you can send an email to this contact. I will put these slides will be put up on one of our Blackboard sites. So, okay. So course planning. Now there's no fixed order for taking courses, okay? But I strongly recommend you take the core courses, at least the technical core courses, early in the program. And there is some dependency in the fact that the 5330 course is a prerequisite for the second technical networking course, and it's also a prerequisite for the infrastructure course. Both those courses. So it's an important course in the first semester. When you're putting together, you know, when courses are generally offered, and say not all courses get offered every semester, and very few get offered in the summer. A lot of students want to go on co-op. I said take into account when you're likely to be in co-op. That's pretty hard actually, because you say, oh, I like to be in co-op next May, right, or next January. You may not get a co-op next January, right? You know, so you don't know, when you're going to get your co-op. Or if you get a co-op at all, right? Not everybody gets a co-op. So, but if you might say, well, my preference would be certainly do that. And the big thing is to know dependencies in courses. If a course has a prerequisite, right? In other words, a course you have to take before, you should know that. And rather than coming and say, oh, I want to take this course, and the professor says you can't take it because you haven't taken that one. And students sometimes get very upset about that. And they shouldn't, because it's black and white. They're saying exactly what the prerequisites are, so you need to do some planning. Like for a lot of courses over computer system engineering and information systems, you need to have Java, right? And students don't take the Java course and then say, and Professor Bugauer, who's in charge of the information systems, is really, really insistent that you have that course. There are 2 Java courses, the one or the other. So be aware of that. And in some cases, professors may, you may say you know something and they say that's okay. Other cases they say no, you have to take our course first.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the percentage of students getting co-op in TSM?
Overall, I would say it's about 70%. Yeah.
So what kind of organizations?
I'll talk about co-op
Yeah.
later on. Yeah, I've got a list of some companies here. Okay, so in terms of no dependencies, during the summers, very few courses that we've talked about already, right? Primarily business course, engineering management and the business school. And the other thing you need to be aware of, in your last semester here, you need to be taking a course here on campus. You can't be taking a course online, you need to be physically here on campus in your last semester. That's an immigration rule, okay? So sometimes, students graduate at the end of August. A lot of courses available in summer two, for example, are online courses. They don't count. So you can't take those courses. Even though students say, well, who do you want to take this course? You can take it, but you have to have take something that's on the ground to show that you're physically here. Okay, so in the spring, these are some of the technical electives. The Linux course, it's got a CORAC, and the CORAC is data networking. Okay, you can take that with the data networking course at the same time. IP telephony is a prereq of data networking. Network security has got prereqs, mainly data networking. Java, of course, and it's the object-oriented design with C++, if you want that, okay. Cloud computing has got a prereq is Java, okay. And these are courses in the CSYE program. I also run a master's program we started last year, or last fall, on the Internet of Things. So we have the fundamentals of the Internet of Things. It's got a prereq. Prereq is data networking again. And then a special topic, which is really got a prereq of Java. Okay. Mobile and wireless networking is offered this semester in electrical engineering, and then you got the basic database course in information systems, and the smartphones are both available. So,
The prerequisite for smartphone?
I believe it's Java. Do I have it written? Maybe I don't have it down here. I think it's Java. Maybe it's not Java. It might not be. Yeah?
Regarding the prerequisites of Java, even if I have the job work experience in Java or undergrad course, it doesn't count for content.
See, I don't control those programs, right? Professor McGrath controls the information systems program, and the other part, I control the IoT part of CSYE, but not the other part. He is very insistent. This has been a big, issue, right? So he's very insistent that you have to take one of his. This is the one you should take. This one. There is another one, Info 5100, but that's restricted to information systems program students. But it's Java as well. But he teaches on himself. But it's for their students. So this is the one you should take. Yeah, I mean, he just insists. Sorry.
Unfortunately, you have to take it.
So it's easier to take it and get you into a lot of other courses, A lot of, it's only just a one prereq really for a lot of these things.
I hope we get this in summer.
The Java course, it might be offered during the summer, is it?
Well, they have to
Because
see if it's
like
over.
in this semester, Johnny has got at least 3 sections, maybe 4 sections, a lot of sections. We should try and get one up, but it's a very popular, because a lot of students take it. Yeah, I don't think it's worth fighting it. You should just go with it. Okay. And these are business courses, which are probably not interested in business courses this semester anyway. These are ones available. Again, these are engineering management, right? College of Engineering, all 4 credit. These are some of the College of Business, all 3 credit. The ones in blue are the ones that count towards the technological and entrepreneurship certificate, the last ones, the ENTR and the TEC one. So these are ones that are all approved. One of the problems is if you decide you want to take a business course, and you take a core technical course, but this semester it's okay if it's like the co-op course, it's 4 + 3 + 1 = 8. But most semesters, a technical course and a business course in the College of Business won't be enough. Okay, for international students, you have to register 8 semester hours, right? So you probably end up having to take 2 of these courses. But if you do take the career management course, ENCP 6000 course, co-op, that's 1 credit. It doesn't count towards your degree, but it does count towards the 8 hours minimum. So they do count it for that. So this semester, okay. I've talked to a lot of you already what you should talk about. You need to take data networking, right? For the second course, you have one option is the public policy and business management. That's a very safe option. Personally, I think you should take that later, especially if you're not, the English language isn't that good, because there's a lot of reading, a lot of class discussions involved in this course. English language not good, I would not waste to take it this semester. Better off taking a 10-year elective. The Java course, the good one. The Linux course is very popular with a lot of students, especially if with no background. If you know Linux and shell scripting and stuff like that, so I wouldn't bother taking it. This is for beginners. Okay, but if but it can be very useful for students with no experience and with no experience with Linux want to get a co-op, because a lot of the kind of co-op jobs are doing sort of QA testing kind of stuff using scripting language. So that can be good. So in the core course you will learn Python, and here you will learn a lot of shell scripting, and that's really a lot of the fundamentals you need for a lot of the co-op positions, so you get set up. If you don't, but if you have Linux already, I wouldn't bother, right? Against students who don't have background in Linux. And these are two other things. Okay. So I think for most people, this is the page you would look at, right, in terms of this semester. Anybody, any questions? Because this is something you need to resolve right now, right? This week, in terms of as much as possible, what courses you're taking. Everybody okay?
No core subject in summers? No core subjects would be learned in summers?
No. We just don't have the demand for it now. End up offering classes, 1 or 2 students a week now. Okay, advising. Okay, so I'm going in the first week of the semester, so I'm available. It's now 2 o'clock. Writing time right now. Every day this week, 3 to 4:30 to Thursday, we have a class. So I'm on the. If you haven't found my office yet, on the 5th floor of Dana. Take the elevator. Come in the main door. Elevator. 2 elevators. Take the one on the left. Go to the 5th floor. So after this first 2 weeks, the regular office hours, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 to 4. In many cases, you don't really need to see me. You can just send me an email ahead of time. But sometimes you do, for example, if I want to take a course, this course, if all you want and it wants a yes or no answer, just send me an email and I say yes or no, right? If I say no, then maybe you want to follow up and explain why. But, so a lot of questions can be handled by email. Okay, save you the bottom having to come in. But not all. There's obviously things that can't be answered face to face. Okay. Okay. And we're going to have a couple of meetings later this month. Okay. Or the next month or so anyway. We're going to be starting up a Telecom Networks Student Society on Kent here. So there's going to be meetings set up in about 2 weeks' time. You'll all be invited to it. Hopefully you'll show up. To set up a student group in this area. So if you have any ideas, what you'd like this group to do, come to the meeting, come anyway. Okay. I think we're going to have some cookies and stuff, right? And then each semester I generally schedule a co-op feedback session whereby students who have been on co-op come back and talk about their co-ops, and you can ask some questions, okay? That might be the end of the month or more likely early February. So set that up. Online classes. So, when can you take an online class? Well, in a couple of cases, when you're on co-op, it's possible to take, when you're on co-op, it allows you to take 1 course in a semester. So you can take an online class, or if you're close to the campus, you can actually come on campus. And the other case, when we allow students to take online classes when there is no on-ground section, right? Or all the on-ground sections are full, right? You can't get into one.
And the last class you need in order to graduate, we can't always let you into a V35 course or
Okay.
an online video streaming section, just if all the sections are full. But
Right.
if there's an alternative class you can take, we feel free to take the other course.
Yeah. In your last semester, you can take online. Okay. Okay, if a course has a streaming video section, a V35 section is recorded, the content is available to everybody, even students who are registered for the on-ground section. And the technology we use Tegrity, for example, you can use in any classroom on campus. Okay. If it's being caught by video, then I guess it can be used cut in any class too, but it's most classrooms. Independent study, these are special things, like 1, 2, or 3 credits, small projects, not very common. Okay, students need to come with a proposal to me ahead of time. Okay. A directed study is where you follow an actual course of study, more rare. There's usually an exam of some sort at the end. And a master's project essentially is a much bigger independent study. For 4 credits, you put together a proposal. It might take about a month or more to figure out what should be in that you should be doing at the end. Then you're going to, it could be like you could write some code, whatever. It could be develop a prototype, whatever it might be. Working on and off campus. You cover a lot of these things, don't you?
Not this.
Okay, so you're allowed to work, you probably know this, right? You're allowed to work for a maximum of 20 hours per week on campus, okay? You can only work off campus on a co-op, which is from the point of view of immigration, CPT, curricular practical training, has to be in your area of study, okay? Can't go and work in McDonald's or any place like that. Or you can use pre-OPT, okay? Optional practical training. When you graduate, that's what you get. But you can use some of that in advance as well. The only issue with pre-OPT is that it takes quite a long time for it to be approved. It takes at least 2 months, maybe more, to get approved by immigration. And the CPT is done by OGS, so it happens pretty fast, maybe about a week or so. This can take a lot longer. So sometimes the students in a co-op and say, my company wants me to stay on for another semester, right? And you can't continue on co-op, and you can stay on. You can go on OPT during the academic year, in other words, fall and spring. You can go on pre-OPT for half-time. And that's fine, if as long as your GPA is good and so on, you'll get approved. But it takes about 2 months really for it to get approved by immigration for you. And so that's going to happen. The company will want you to stay on after your co-op is over. They need to tell you pretty early on, okay? Otherwise, you won't get clearance, and it'll be halfway through the semester before you can actually go work for them. Students on all of our multidisciplinary programs are not eligible for research or teaching assistantships. Okay, the first things with is in other words, there's no tuition waivers. Okay. However, we employ students who do well in our classes as course assistants. Okay. So if you do very well in a class, you get an A and so on, then next time around you can apply to be an assistant on that course. And you're paid by the hour. It doesn't apply in your first semester. You have to do well in a class first, right? Then the professor might be willing to have you as a TA or a CA for that course. And you're paid an hourly rate. 5 hours, 10, up to a maximum of 20 hours a week. And some things you do would be grading assignments, running labs, providing some tutorial help, mentoring, things like that. want to do all this? Okay. You do all this, right? Okay. Mike, it's not for Mike to be here. Come on, you can talk about the co-op. Okay, so I'll start anyway. A few slides here on co-op. Okay. What is co-op? You talk. Professor Schwartz is going to be who is your co-op advisor. So, the goal of co-op is education in your subject area and in your professional practice, whether it's in working in the industry. You allowed one co-op, okay, and it can be 4, 6, or 8 months, maximum of 8 months, and it has to align pretty much with the semester structure. You can't start in the middle of February and end up, wherever. Or it can start in November and go into February, things like that. It has to line up with the semesters. The minimum for a telecom student is 13 weeks. I will not approve any co-op less than 13 weeks, okay? I think it's a waste of time, okay? I've had a number of cases where students come back, like that's 11 or 12, and I tell them, go back to the company and see if it'll extend it. And in every case so far, they have, okay? Okay. Professor Schwartz is your coordinator. This is the course you'll be taking. He'll talk about that. It's 1 credit course. You're required to take it, otherwise you can't go on co-op. And if you're not interested in going on co-op, it's a course you might want to take because it develops some skills, helps you build up your resume and things like that, how to write a good resume. So if you're not going on co-op, it can still be very useful for you, right? You learn a lot about resumes, also about interviewing techniques and things like that. Okay. When you actually go on co-op, you have to register for a different course called the Co-op Work Experience course. That's down the road. And then you're allowed to take, while you're on co-op, you're allowed to take a maximum of 1 course. In general, I prefer students not to take any courses while on co-op. Okay. Because when you're on co-op, you're working 40 hours a week for a company. You want to do well, obviously, and taking a course is going to be a big distraction. Okay? And a lot of it, some of the employers don't want you to take any courses. They really don't. They've told me. Because they see it's a distraction, or students, well, I want to leave early because I'm going to my class. They don't really like that. Okay? You're working there as full time. They expect your mind to be there full time too. Okay. After co-op, you have to come back to Northeastern for at least 1 semester. It doesn't have to be a full 4 credit semester. If you finish a co-op, say for example, the end of so you have co-op finish the end of June, you can come back for a summer 2. There's 2, one of those 7-week semesters. If you just have one business course to take or something like that. Okay. So that needs some planning though. So you need to be, lined up for that to happen. It can happen. Okay, minimum requirements going to co-op 3.00. That's required. You need to have at least 16 academic credits. You need to complete at least 2 core courses, and you need to have passed the ENCP 6000 course. I think I've got 2 slides more than let's go through before. Okay, this is the form you need to send to me for approval after you've got a co-op. Once you submit it as a fillable PDF, so if you sign this document, it makes everything faster for everybody. And talking about companies, did I miss a slide here? Okay, yeah. Pretty much, I would say 99% of the co-op opportunities for telecom students have been technical. There have been a couple of cases a few years ago where students went on non-technical ones, sales and things like that, but most of them are technical. And that was for somebody with a background in that area. The co-op advisor, Mr. Schwartz, will develop a list of positions, and that will be available in the system. You can also find your own positions, okay? So just don't wait around hoping that a position turns up in the system, because otherwise you'll find out you're competing with a lot of other students. It's very competitive, even internally. And so it's good to also, go on the web and contact companies, see what's available, and follow up and so on. But I say, historically, over the past few years, 70% of our graduates have gone on a co-op. That excludes students not eligible for co-op, people like that, Fulbright and things like that, and part-time students. Of the students who started a year ago, at this time, about 30% are on co-op. That number looks small, but you got to think, they started in January of last year. The first semester they're available, they can really go on co-op, is now. Okay? So January of 2018 is the first chance to go on co-op. So when you look at that way, it's not so bad, right? But they will have another opportunity, in May, all through the summer, and then even into the fall. Okay? Fall 2018 will be their last chance. So fall 2019 will be your last chance to get a co-op. Right? So why don't students go and get a co-op? Well, sometimes it's bad grades. Okay, you have to be 3.0. Other cases, lack of motivation. I mean, getting a co-op is a lot of work. Okay, it's going to train you in terms of job. Going out there, job searching, contacting companies. You got to follow up, and you got to do it on an ongoing basis. Right? It can be very time consuming. So some students just give up. And in other cases, English language skills. Because one of the first parts of the co-op employment process is our interviews, right? And a lot of the interviews today are over the phone. Okay, technical interviews over the phone that can go on for, in many cases, over a couple of hours, right? Long interviews. So if your English language skills aren't good, you're going to have big problems, right? So I recommend working on English language skills for those of you who are, not native speakers or having a lot of practice, because it'll make you the whole process a lot better, easier for you. And the last co-op slide I have here is just a list of some of the companies. Okay, these are mainly big companies, a couple of smaller companies in here. These are all the big guys. Nokia, for example, networks, they're taking quite a few students at the moment, maybe about 10 students a year at least. Arista, taking quite a few. iBasis, not so much. Cisco, on and off, sometimes take a lot, sometimes they don't. I mean, it depends on the companies, VMware, Akamai, been taken very consistently. We've got a lot of our graduates work for Akamai in Cambridge. Akamai, a big CDN company, content. Switch network, neither Juniper. Okay. And what's not there, I think companies like Amazon, AWS, for example. So this is a list of some of the companies from the recent past. Mike, you want to?
Any placements with Apple, AT&T?
AT&T?
Apple?
Not very many with AT&T, no. AT&T has a policy, generally, and most of AT&T have a policy of not hiring international students. And they don't want to go through the H1B process. It's a problem.
Apple?
It's a corporate policy, huh?
Apple?
Apple, yes, we've had a few with Apple. Not so much in this program, but other programs, yes. We've had one or two with Apple. Facebook, yes, one or two. Again, other programs, but we're not really, networking, but, a lot of the same skill sets, but in different places, right? So, okay, just find your slide here.
Okay. I see some familiar looking faces. I had my first class today for this semester
Do we
this
get
morning.
this
Here, though.
presentation?
I think he said he's gonna post it somewhere. We'll let you know.
Which?
She said if,
The
they
slides?
will in the slides.
Yes, I'll post it.
Okay, so a lot of information on the slide. So hello again to those who I met this morning. Nice to see you again. So now you know my name is Mike Schwartz. So the first thing I like to tell people is we call the course Career Management for Engineers, and we call it Career Management because what you're going to learn in the course is not just how to get a co-op job, but just basically life skills, how to interview, how to put resumes together, how to adapt to situations throughout your career as things change over time. You'll have career goals, which we spoke about, and career goals will change over time. Thank you. Okay. So your career goals will change over time, right? Because every year, every 3 years, every 5 years, whatever it is, you may find yourself evolving. So the thing that I will tell you is that what we teach in the course are basically what I call their life career skills. And you use them over and over again. And I tell people, as I mentioned in my class this morning, when I transitioned my whole career from my high-tech career into my higher education career, okay, I followed all of these same principles. I didn't probably know that I was following them at the time, which is second nature for me. So that's why, otherwise we would just call it getting a co-op. We wouldn't have to call it career management, right? So that's the first thing I like to tell people, but just be aware you do have to take the course and pass it to be eligible for co-op. The second thing is, you all have resumes already, right? Yeah, raise your hand if you have a resume. Okay, so not even, so that's good. Sometimes if there's 50 students here, like 45 students raise their hand, and then I ask, well, how many of you have your hands raised feel really good about your resume and are sure that it's really ready for the U.S. marketplace and you're ready to go out there and compete for a job? Then the hands kind of come down usually, okay? So as much as you sort of think you know or have a resume, we'll teach you our style. There's many different styles. The university is going to a tool called VMOC for resume building. You may have been notified about that. It's optional for you to use that, but we're going to be coaching you and teaching you anyway what we think, what our view is of how to get a good resume out for these technology fields and co-op jobs that you'd be interested in. And it probably won't come out perfectly the first time. We'll iterate with you, we'll coach you through it. And then cover letters, as Dr. Riley mentioned, cover letters, you're going to be applying outside of new careers as well. And cover letters then become very important. And a cover letter is not just, hey, here's who I am, and it sort of repeats what's in your resume. It says, hope I hear from you. Okay? Because then you could write one cover letter, and you could send it to 50 companies. I will tell you that every year we have some students that do that. They send it to 50 companies, and guess how many interviews they get? Usually it's 0. Okay? Because getting a job is not a volume game. Getting a job is speaking to the person trying to make the connection to the potential employer. So we will teach you how to write a cover letter, and some of you actually won't quite figure it out, and we'll have to coach you through it. But it really does make a difference because you're always trying to attract, you're trying to make a connection, and you're always trying to get them to understand what it is about why you want to work here or why you're skilled to add value for them. And so you do that through a cover letter that you can't do in a resume because the resume is non-conversational. Okay? And similarly with LinkedIn, which sort of fits in a way in between because it's a little bit conversational, but it's not speaking to a particular job. A cover letter speaks to a particular job. Okay. Will also help you, much to the point I just made, we have students, sometimes a student comes in and literally has applied to 100 jobs. And I kind of go, wow, like, so you really have researched 100 jobs and figured out like how you fit in this job and why they should hire you? And it's like, of course not. Okay, now I will tell you that it's not never, sometimes you could apply to 100 jobs and get lucky, okay, but that is not the norm. More often the student will come with 100 jobs, say, well, look what I'm doing, and kind of go, okay, and they're a little bit stubborn sometimes, and I'll just say, well, how's that working for you? It's usually not working so well, so I try to get them to modify how they're approaching the job search. Now, if they come to me early enough, maybe like in their second semester, not their very last chance semester, then we have time to work with you, and that would be true for you folks as well. Networking is another important part of getting a co-op. So we'll teach you how to network. It's obviously easier to network if you know people, and some of you may know people in the U.S. or people that are a year advanced of you, and you have some connections, and that's very helpful. We have a LinkedIn group across the Graduate Engineering Co-op program, so that can help. But also sometimes it's just opportunities as they show up. It's at a career fair, it's cold connections that you're making by rooting around through LinkedIn and figuring out where someone's doing something that you're interested in, and we will help you to do that. That is challenging. I will not lie to you. That's not like an easy thing to do, but we will teach you how to do that, okay? Why I call this the life skills, the life career skills is, if I was looking for a new job today, that is exactly what I would have to do. So this is not like a one-time get a co-op situation. And then interviewing for a job, I have a student call me just last week, last chance student trying to get his job. I have an interview tomorrow, can I get a mock interview with you? I said, of course. Okay, so we help you like that. We try to do some of that right within the class. Sometimes I schedule an extra session just for that. So it'd be up to you, that'd be optional usually, it'd be up to you to participate. But it's not too hard for me, even if a student's prepared, to bring a student into a classroom and start asking them questions, usually behavioral questions, and get them to get tongue-tied pretty quickly. So, you know, an experienced interviewer will have like their stories ready to go, and they will not be flustered by that and be able to respond well. So we try to coach you through that. And then finally, at some point, hopefully you get an offer from a company, and much like when you're trying to catch a fish, sometimes you have a fish and you really get in at the very last minute, it falls off the line. Sometimes students become anxious when they have their offer, and they start like bombarding the company like every day, and that can turn a company off. Okay, so we're, again, sometimes a student comes to us and it's too late, the fish is already off the hook. I'm saying, can you say this? Well, no, I can't, you know. So if you're having issues, if you want to negotiate, I had a student successfully negotiate. They were going to go to a very expensive living area. The company was going to pay for their housing for the first 3 weeks or something, and the offer was actually relatively low. And I coached the student how to approach the company. And the company turned around, and she was amazed. She said the company turned around and offered her free housing for the entire 8-month co-op in a high expense area. It literally doubled the value of her co-op for her. She probably would have made very little money net overall. But you have to do these things in the right way. And these are the kinds of things of all the students that we teach. You all won't take advantage of it, but it's there for you. So we hope you'll take advantage of it, because then we can help you to succeed and close the deal and have it work out in your benefit. So that's really all I wanted to say. Summarizing, you'll learn valuable skills. Talk to us, don't wait till it's too late, and we'll help you along all these various parts of the path. Okay, great, thanks.
Sure, are you done there?
I come back to wrap up. Both the other stuff is
I'm good. Take your time, I'm getting used to it. You're on percussion.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Allison Jacobs. I am the program coordinator for the TNET program, and my office is housed in 130 Snell Engineering, and so that's in the Graduate School of Engineering. And I'm part of the Graduate Student Services team in the Graduate School of Engineering, and so we help students in a variety of categories, the main one being in academics. Professor O'Reilly can help with choosing which courses you need to register for, but if you have any difficulty with registering for the courses, that's where I come in. Graduation requirements, like Professor O'Reilly said, during your last term, I will go through and I will make sure that you've met all of the requirements for your degree. And then last, for academics, if unfortunately some students do fall on academic probation, meaning they fall below the 3.0 required GPA, I help you, along with Professor O'Reilly, to help devise a plan to help you get off of academic probation. Next, my office helps out with communication to you. We send out semesterly newsletters that include deadlines, like for course registration. We also try to include events and opportunities, so I saw that Professor Riley had some coming up, so hopefully we can get those into our newsletter. We send everything to your Husky email, so please make sure that you're checking your Husky email. If you want to forward your Husky emails to your personal email account, make sure you do that, but we will solely just email your Husky email. Next, we work in conjunction with the Office of Global Services on all academic matters pertaining to your visa. We are also a CVIS contact, so if you have a form from the Office of Global Services that requires a CVIS contact, that will be me. So if you have any questions, please, I guess, just bring all forms to me or come see me during my office hours if you have any questions about any of those forms. So today I want to cover resources that are available to you, the assistance that I can provide to you, and also responsibilities that we will expect you to abide by as a graduate student at Northeastern. So first, resources. I want to stress the importance of this office, the Office of Global Services. They're located in L Hall on the 4th floor. Great team of people up there. They help out with everything pertaining to your F1 visa. So if you have any questions at all, please, when in doubt, check with OGS. They're the experts. I can try to help as best I can, but they're the best office to go to if you have any questions about your immigration status or employment, OPT, CPT. They're definitely a great office to go to. Also, they have a really great community there. So if you don't know anybody in the Boston area, it's a really great office to get involved with the OGS community on campus here at Northeastern. Next, hopefully all of you have a My Northeastern account set up. So this is a very important website and website to have, because this is where we do all of your course registration. This is where your Husky email is. This is where all of your billing information is. Blackboard, if you have courses associated with Blackboard, your Husky card. So this is a really great website to bookmark because you're going to use it practically every day. Next, I want to make you aware of the registrar's office. They are the ones who are in charge of your transcripts. They're in charge of course registration on the back end. This is where the catalog is. This is where you'll find the calendar for the university. So I would say this is definitely a really great website to bookmark, because any question you might have, you can probably find it on their website first. So registration link and then the catalog. So the catalog is where you will find the curriculum for your program. And so like Professor O'Reilly said, you need to make sure that you're meeting all of the requirements in order to graduate with your degree. So this is the university calendar. I have a couple dates that are coming up in January. So next Monday, there's a holiday. Don't come in, no one will be here. Enjoy the day off. The next one is January 22nd. That will be the last day that you yourself can register for a course online. Past that point in your My Northeastern account, you won't be able to add any more courses. And so if you do have to add a course late, come see me and we can work with the registrar's office to make that happen. The last date is January 29th. That's the last day that you yourself can drop a class, get the tuition back that you paid for the course, and not receive a W or a withdraw on your transcript. So if you try to drop a course after January 29th, the course will stay on your transcript and it'll have a W in the grade column, and that will just stay on your transcript. It won't factor into your GPA, but you will unfortunately lose the tuition that you've paid for that course. So that's definitely a very important date to remember there. Especially anything on here. So yeah, February 16th, that's the first day of summer course registration. So I know some of you have a question about that before.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, so first day of summer course registration.
And
I think, yeah, so January 29th. That's when summer classes will be posted.
Registration up there too? Yes, it is. April 6th.
Okay,
Right,
yeah.
it's the first day of fall registration.
right there.
For continuing students, yeah.
And then they'll be posted on March 29th, or March 19th, sorry. So again, this is a really great website to have bookmarked. Next, the graduate catalog. So again, this is where all of the official curriculum requirements are for your degree. This is also where you can see code of student conduct. I believe admissions reached out to you that you need to read academic policies or conduct and sign off on that, just so you make sure that you're aware of what Northeastern expects of you. The next page I want to emphasize is the Graduate Student Services webpage. So this is housed on the College of Engineering's website, under Graduate School, and then Graduate Student Services. This is where we have links to all of our academic policies, information on co-op. This is also where we have our forms. And so I'm going to go over those. We also have university quick links, so links to the Husky office, to there's a writing center here on campus, the registrar's office, OGS. So if you bookmark this page, you'll have quick access to all of the other offices on campus. So once you click on that forms button, it brings you to this page. And so the two forms that you will use the most are the petition and the override request form. And so this is what a petition form looks like. You will fill out the top section here with all of your information, and the reason for the petition: you want to either waive a core course, or you want to take a course that's outside of the curriculum that we have in the catalog. If you want to request to take additional classes during the semester, so everyone is capped at a maximum of 10 hours per semester. If you want to end up taking 3 courses and you need to have that cap increased, you'll fill out the other section and state why, that you want to take an additional course and why you feel you should. And then you'll turn this into Professor O'Reilly, and then it will eventually make its way to my office in the Graduate School of Engineering, and I will return the petition to you via email, letting you know whether your petition was denied or approved. So assistance that I can provide you: course registration. So a lot of problems that students have is when they're trying to add courses in their My Northeastern account. They'll encounter like program restriction or college restriction or student attribute restrictions. You will use the override form. So this is an example of what the override form looks like. Again, you'll fill out the top, you'll fill in the course information of the class you're trying to register for and what restriction you're encountering. So then that way, when it comes to me or to Professor O'Reilly, we know if we can approve it or if we can help get you over that restriction. So next I want to talk to you about adding and dropping a course. So you can do this simultaneously, because once you're registered for over the minimum of 8 hours, the system will not let you drop below that 8 hours. So sometimes if you're registered for 2 courses and you want to drop one of them and add another one, you'll have to do that simultaneously. So many of you, hopefully all of you, have been through course registration already for this semester. We will add in the CRN at the bottom there of the course that you want to add, and then click on the drop-down box next to the course you'd like to drop. You say web drop, and then you say submit changes. That will simultaneously drop the course and then add the new course. So that usually takes care of a lot of issues that students have when they're saying, I want to get into this new class, but I can't drop the other class. You'll have to do it at the same time. Does anybody have any questions about that? No? Next, I want to talk to you about wait lists. So each course has the opportunity to carry a wait list. And again, you'll add the CRN down at the bottom where it's yellow there, submit changes, and then sometimes you'll get an error saying course is closed, but it'll say wait list next to it. And there, in the drop-down box, you can choose wait list, and then say save changes, and that will add you to the wait list. So I believe I saw from the registrar's office that maybe in 2 weeks the wait list will be closed. So I know we've encountered this issue before, that after a certain date we can't add any more students to a wait list because the registrar's office has gotten rid of that function. So sometimes if you don't see an option for wait list, it might mean that we're past the point that we are allowing students to be on the wait list. Does anybody have any questions? So online courses, Professor O'Reilly already went over this. Courses outside of the College of Engineering, you touched on this before, but on the Student Services website we have a link that gives you detailed instructions on how you can register for a CS course, an IA course, or one of the business courses. Unfortunately, I have no power over these courses. They're not part of the College of Engineering, so I don't have access to put a student into one of those courses. So please don't ask me in an email to put you into a CS course. I can't do it. But if you have questions about what instructions you need to do, I'll just refer you to this one on our website. So responsibilities as a student here at Northeastern. You are required to maintain a 3.0 or a B average. To qualify to graduate, you must have no more than 8 semester hours, usually 2 courses, with a grade below a B-. If you do have 3 courses below a B-, unfortunately you'll have to retake one of those courses or take a course in its place, because we can't graduate you with more than 2 B-. Does anybody have any questions about that? All right. So what happens if you don't make the 3.0 each semester? So this is when our academic probation policy comes into play. Again, each of you should go onto our website, review the policy, sign off on it. It's very important that you know that the academic probation policy is out there, and after the first term, you're placed on academic probation 1, and I'll contact you and let you know, hey, at the end of this term, unfortunately you didn't make the 3.0. You will have to fill out with Professor O'Reilly an action plan, and then I can also help with that too. And we're going to devise this plan to help you get off of academic probation in the next term. So hopefully after the next term, you get off academic probation and you move on in good status. Unfortunately, some students, they still are unable to bring their GPA above a 3.0, and so you fall into academic probation 2, and that means that you're dismissed from your program, but you have the opportunity to appeal to Professor O'Reilly to give you a 1-term extension. And so if at that time you'll also have to do another action plan and talk with Professor O'Reilly, and then if he feels that you will be able to continue on and get above a 3.0, then he may approve your appeal. If he does, then you can continue on. Hopefully you get off of academic probation. But if not, if you fall under the 3.0 again in the 3rd term, unfortunately you are dismissed from the Graduate School of Engineering. There is another appeals process to the Graduate Appeals Committee. Unfortunately, it's a very difficult committee to convince to give you a 3rd chance, so hopefully you don't make it to that point. Last year there were about 100 students that were on academic probation, and we did have to dismiss about 7 from the university. So I did hear that a lot of the students did have personal issues, or they had family issues that came up, or they themselves got sick and they had to leave the country but didn't tell anybody. So if anything like that happens, like, let myself know, let your instructor know, let Professor O'Reilly know as soon as it happens, because then we are better able to help you at that point. If it goes on and we find that you're on academic probation or that you've been dismissed from your program, there's little we can do sometimes. So I just want to stress the importance, if anything happens to you that's preventing you from doing well in your courses, just let us know. Does anybody have any questions? All right. So I have walk-in office hours. My regular office hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 2 to 4 p.m. When you walk in, we have an iPad. When you walk into the office, just sign in with your NUID, what program you're in, and just a brief description of why you're there, either course registration or graduation issue, or I don't know, forms, whatever it is that you're there for. Just give me a quick description of that. This week and next week we're holding extended office hours, so we're going from 10 to noon and then 2 to 4 Monday through Friday, because we know last week with the university being closed, we want to give you a little bit of extra time to come and see us if you have any issues. So you can always email me, again, like Professor O'Reilly said, if it's just a quick question that you have that you don't have to come into the office, just email me at al.jacobs@northeastern.edu. If you'd like to schedule an appointment outside of my office hours, just email me and we can book a 30-minute or an hour session depending upon what your issue is. In your emails, please try to include like your name, your NUID, and what I can do to help you. Yeah, the extended office hours there. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Class has less number of students, like for example, I've opted for Linux in the semester. If there is like only me in the class, does that still continue, or what is it like?
It'll probably get canceled.
Well, it's rare. I mean, classes could get cancelled, yes, if it drops down very low, but it's unlikely.
Okay. Because I haven't been able to find anybody else who's taken up Linux.
Well, Linux, there's about 12 registered, I think.
Why is it? That is
You're not
Okay.
the only person.
I was
No.
worried in the morning because everybody is opted for Java.
So you went to the class, no, class is tonight, is it tomorrow night, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You won't be the only
Yeah,
person
there'll
there.
probably be other people.
You won't be the only person there, no.
Okay.
Okay, so, Okay, so I'm going to wrap up now, a few more slides, and okay, very good. Okay, so let's see. Course registrations. This, I think pretty much everything's been covered here. 8 credits. Yeah, a max of 10 credits per semester. We put a constraint on that. So if you want to go above that for some reason, you know, you need to contact me. Say why. You know, I will not allow it in the first semester because I think there is students coming from different countries. I generally find it quite difficult here. It's a completely different way of teaching and the way classes are organized. So it's not a good idea to take more than a minimum the first semester. If you want to take 3 courses in the spring, contact me if your GPA is good and so on. It especially happens a lot in the last semester where students may have a job offer and you know, the company wants them to start in May or whatever and they have 3 courses to take, and in that case it's no problem. Just let me know and we will get the cap increased. Yeah, so. But in my experience is that most students generally want to go through this slowly. They're not in a hurry until the very end, and maybe they're in a hurry at the very end. But usually they want to take 2 courses a semester and so on. Okay, and there's a narrow window of 2 weeks 2 weeks to add, as it was said there, 2 weeks to add, 3 weeks to drop, right?
But any subject with 2 credits?
We don't really have anything with 2 credits. It could be like for independent study with 2 credits. All our regular courses are 4 credits. Yeah, and that's pretty much right across the College of Engineering are 4 credit courses. In the business school, they're pretty much all 3 credits. Yeah. Very rare to see anything less than that. Yeah, so that's why most students end up taking 8 4-credit courses, because, yeah. Or you end up with 30. I mean, 32 is the minimum. You can graduate 33, 35. That's fine, you know. And you know, the other thing is, I mean, the thing to remember is, this is a great opportunity for many of you to really learn. You know, because once you go out there and start working, it's so much harder to learn when you're working. It really is, because you don't have the time. You know, you work pretty hard. You come home in the evening, 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. You're exhausted. The last thing you want to do is start studying. You know, really hard. It's a great opportunity here in an academic environment to learn things, take classes. And the thing about classes, you know, you're helped. I mean, you know, because somebody is leading you through the material. Now, some things you can learn on your own, like languages, certainly. But other material, it's much easier to learn under an instructor who really knows the material and will guide you through the material. Much easier. So, you know, I have a number of students who want to take extra courses, you know, and don't mind paying for an extra course or so because they understand this is going to help them in their career. And we talked about wait lists, right? Okay. Last point down here, checking out course in advance. You may be registered for 2 classes this semester, but maybe you're not sure of one of them. You say, well, maybe I might want to switch, whatever. Well, first of all, you can get on a wait list. The fact that you're up to your maximum 9 or 10 credits, you can still join a wait list for another class, right? The only problem is if you then are told there's a seat available, you have to make a decision pretty quickly, you know. Accept and drop one of the classes, okay. So if you are on a wait list, okay, you should go to that class. Okay? The worst thing to do is be on a wait list for a class, don't go to it, and then you get the seat in the class, and you go to it, and then you drop the other class, and then you realize, oh, I made a big mistake. That has happened. That has happened. And students, you know, if it happens like in the 2nd or 3rd week of the class, of the semester, then it's too late to find another class. You're stuck. I mean, a couple of years ago, I had a bunch of students who took some Pearl classes in computer science. Two guys, and he ended up getting Fs. You know, that put him in a deep hole for a long time, trying to get out of that. You know, and they said they just went into it by mistake. You know, and then it was too late to drop. You know, and so yeah, don't let that happen to you. So if you're interested in a class at all, Go to it. During the first 2 weeks of the semester, professors expect students to show up even if they're not registered. They have no problem with that, right? They say, as long as there are seats in the room, there are seats someplace where you can sit. You can sit there and take notes and so on. You won't be on the blackboard for the course, obviously, but you learn what the course is all about. You get a copy of the syllabus, so you know if you want to take in the future what to expect and so on. It's a great opportunity to check courses out. So take advantage of it. And if you're on a wait list, or there's any chance of you changing your mind, definitely go to the other classes, okay? After the first 2 weeks, you really can't keep on going, you know? Well, you really can't. You have to only go to the class you're registered for. Okay. Okay. I think we've covered that. Co-op. Petition request, I think. Yeah. Okay, I think we've covered everything there. Probation. Okay. Okay, attendance policy. Okay, this is an attendance policy that I have, and this really doesn't apply to you this semester, but will apply to you in other semesters. If you're registered for a class, okay, I expect you to be there for the first meetings of the class in the semester, okay? We've had cases where students go home to their home country for an extended vacation, right, and come back 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the semester and expect, their places to be held for them. No. If there is a wait list, and very often there is a wait list, and if you don't show up for your class, I'm going to drop you from that class and give it to somebody on the wait list who is actually physically there, who actually comes to the class and so on. It's not fair to hold on to a seat in the class if you're not here. Okay? So next fall or next spring, right, next January, make sure you're back at the beginning of the semester for your start of classes, okay? And if you do miss classes for any course, right, you are responsible for the material covered. Do not go to the professor and expect him to give you any special, consideration or anything like that, okay? You're supposed to be there.
In case of exigency.
Emergencies? Well, that's different. Okay, real emergencies, right? Real emergencies. Like, for example, the university supports, leave of absence for if you get ill. And it has happened, students get ill seriously ill and have to go home to their home country, whatever, during the semester. We will give leave of absence. Just let Alison know. Okay? Again, let her know. And the university will take care of it, and your I-20 will be adapted, everything will be taken care of. Okay? But you need to let us know. Okay? And I don't know if you need medical paperwork, or maybe
The university health center will require some documentation, but
for medical,
they'll help you, they'll walk you through and make sure that everything.
So if any emergencies happen, let Alison or I know about it. If you have to leave the country and go back if you have to go back for 2 days, something like that, and some people do. It's a long way to go, some to India or China for 2 days or 3 days, but people do it. If it's just like a long weekend kind of thing, don't worry about it. But if it's for a week or so, let us know, especially if it impacts your classes, yeah. If you're going to miss exams or miss assignments, let your professor know and so on. If there's some emergency like that happens. Yeah. Last couple of slides here on academic integrity and plagiarism. Okay. Northeastern is very strict on ensuring that academic integrity in our education system is maintained, and so all of these things are violation, cheating, or exams, making things up, collaborating when you're not supposed to collaborate, right? Participation in dishonesty, even if you yourself are not the person doing the thing. Like example, letting somebody else copy your homework, or letting somebody else look at your exam paper. Okay. And all forms of plagiarism, whether it be or copying in somebody else's material. So it could be from basically pulling stuff down from the web in terms of saying in a report. It could be from borrowing code, right? Borrowing code from somebody else or from wherever you might get it. And these things, there's loads of tools out there these days to check on these things. Okay, so you can be very easily caught. Okay, So if you do borrow material from some other source, you need to acknowledge it, unless it's general common knowledge, okay? That's really important. So these are examples of plagiarism, all kinds of stuff, just taking stuff from somewhere else or from a friend, or buying a paper, or getting some code, or drawings, or whatever it might be. All examples of plagiarism, and are all violations of the policy of academic integrity. So if you do this and you are caught, there's a serious penalties. Okay, for classes in my programs, I ask the professors if we're caught teaching an exam to give an F for the course. Okay, so. And also you will get reported to the graduate school, and also to what's called OSCR, which is the Office of Student Conduct and Conflict Resolution here on campus. And they will review your case, okay? And you get a minimum sanction of deferred suspension, and if you're caught more than once, then you're most likely going to be expelled. So, you don't want to do this, okay? It's not worth it. Okay, that's it. Anything I haven't covered? Okay, I didn't say where I'm going to present that. It's going to be on the, if you go into Blackboard, maybe send an email out. There is there's a orientation link there, or not course, right? And where I put previous PowerPoint presentations, and today it'll be there. And last fall, we put a video as well there too. It was a YouTube video, right? We put that there as well. So the three presentations, mine, Alison's, and Mike's, will all be there, plus the YouTube video, and we'll get it done the next day or so. Yes.
If for a course there are multiple professors taking it, so can I attend, if I missed a class of one professor, can I attend the same if the same? No,
because they're not covering, they're not exactly in sync like that, right? Like there's multiple people teaching a course in Java, for example, right? The CSY 6200, but they're not in sync. Some of them may be teaching the course from very different slightly different perspectives. So they won't necessarily, if you you can't just bounce from class to class. No. That's not going to help at all. You need to stick to one. Yeah.
I recall from the webinar you mentioned that one of the students had actually finished MS in 1 year.
That's correct, yes.
So how did that happen when you don't allow more than 10 credits per semester?
Well, he came here, he was an American student, and his company, he worked for the American government, and his company said they were giving him basically 8 months to do the degree. So when he came here, he told me that, right? So I said, well, okay, let's try it, So he took 4 courses and 4 courses, yeah. And he got straight A's. Smart kid. Yeah. He was the exception. No, but he only had 8 months to do it, because he had to leave after 8 months. He had to go back to his job. He just had a leave of absence for 8 months. And he had no working outside. He was just focused on his classes, nothing else. No distractions, no co-ops, no nothing, just purely studying. Yeah, you can do it. We can do it, yeah.
So the co-op class is only for 1 credit.
That's correct, yeah.
So we could choose a co-op class and a business class. That's for.
If you take a course from the course from the business school, right? Yes. That's 3 credits, and the co-op class is 4, and say the data networking, that makes up 8. Yes. So that would be okay for this semester, but now you see, but that's only 7 credits towards your degree. So someplace you're going to have to pick up an extra credit, you know what I mean? Because if you do that for 4 semesters, you end up with 31 credits. So then you're short a credit, you see? Just letting you know. So look ahead.
So either it's 33 or it's 31.
But you have to have at least 32. But minimum 32, but it can be 33, 34, 35. Anything higher is fine. But it can't be less than 32. 32 academic. And the co-op course is not included there. Not included in that 32, okay? Not included.
Typically, the students will take their 2 academics plus the 1 credit co-op course. That's like a typical.
That's typical. And if you are interested in co-op, I really think you should take it this semester. Okay? Because next time around, it will be offered in summer, will it?
I don't think we're going to offer it this year.
Okay, fine. So then you need to wait until fall. Better do it now. Yeah, and there's plenty of seats available should be. So if you're interested in co-op, do it now. Okay?
So we can choose the co-op class at any time.
I think you have to take Professor
I
Schwartz.
remember that.
Choose it at any time.
I remember after we got 16 maybe grade.
Oh, then you can go on co-op, correct.
Yeah,
If you're
maybe.
eligible and you
I
find a
remember.
co-op.
Yes,
You'll
oh,
take 16 credit hours.
Oh, after you take 16 credit hours. So normally you'll have taken 16 credit hours by December, right? So you'll take 8 now and 8 even if you won't take 8 in the summer. You might take 1 course during the summer, right? So I guess you could take 2 courses, but most people will do as 1. And then in the spring, it'll be December before you're ready for co-op. So co-op, and starting in January is a good time actually. A lot of good co-ops start in January because you can get 4 month, a 6 month, an 8 month co-op in January. If you're looking for a co-op in September, you can only get a 4 month co-op. You're not allowed to go beyond 4 months because the co-ops have to finish before Christmas. So starting in January is a good time to starting a co-op because you can have, yeah.
So then it will be good to cover more subjects in this year?
Yeah, in the first year, I think so, yeah. Now, in the summertime, if you're not, in the summer, if you don't want to take a course, there's loads of things you could do. You can learn the language, if you don't know, or you can work improving your language, like Python, Java. You can do projects on your own. You can do lots of things you can do. You don't necessarily, a lot of good stuff available online. There's a lot of really good stuff available online which you could use to learn things. So you don't necessarily have to be in the classroom. Some things are definitely best done in a classroom, but other things you can certainly, like languages, you can work on your own, you can build projects and things like that, yeah.
So if we should take at least 2 core courses before the co-op.
Yes.
Or
Before the co-op.
apply the co-op.
No, before you start the co-op. So you take 1 core course this semester, say, and you take the Linux or the Java course, then take another core course in the fall. It could be either 5350, the infrastructure course, or the 5360, or you can take both if you want to. In the fall, the internet's course. So I would take. That's what I would suggest. You take at least 1 core course this semester, and at least 1 core course in the fall. So you're okay.
So the business elective courses for us have 4 credits?
Well, it depends. If you take them from the College of Engineering, it's 4 credits. If you take them from the College of Business, there are 3 credits. But there's 3 good choices in the College of Engineering. Project management is very popular. It's a good course. Economic decision making, and then there's also financial management. I think it's probably the first 2, but probably the most project management is probably I would rank number 1 actually. Very useful. A lot of uni graduates will be end up might not being a project manager. So good skills to learn.
So regarding the co-op, so to go on co-op, we should be finishing the co-op course, right? So
Yes.
in what way it is different taking it in the first semester and moving it into the second semester? So
Well, it gives you. If you've the idea at the end of your co-op course is that you would have a very good resume and you have developed all these interviewing skills. If your resume is not quite perfect yet, it gives you more time. I'm not sure what the current rules are in terms of accessing the database, Michael.
So for example, students that came in the fall, whether they took the course in the fall or whether they're taking it now, as long as they're in one or the other, we will enable them to search a new career
Okay.
before the career fair.
Okay.
So the same thing for you students, when you're in your second semester, if you're enrolled in the course, we would enable you to search in the new careers job system, as well as, of course, you can search outside. I think what Dr. O'Reilly was simply saying is that if you take the course this semester, your resume is more polished. If you're taking it next semester, you're just kind of learning it on the fly as you're trying to look for your
For
job.
jobs.
So you're a little bit behind, but many students have done that as well.
And the other thing is, this semester, the numbers taking the co-op course, it'll be probably a lot less than in the fall. Because in the fall, we get a lot more students come in the fall. The course gets a lot more crowded. So I think you'll probably get more personal attention this semester than you will in the fall. So it's another good reason for taking it now. Okay, I do recommend it now.
If you're going to do it, you've already missed the first class. And that is not optimal, actually, for the reasons like you were saying.
Yeah.
So if you are going to do it, you better be here by the next class.
Right.
Do it
The point-
soon.
Yeah, because I found difficulty in registering for the course. So I was thinking to attend the other co-op course class, which is tomorrow and then class.
That would be fine. That would definitely be preferable, so you'd at least be in someone's first week class, which for this course
Right.
is consistent. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
So if we take 5 courses in the first year, and then go on-
4 credit courses?
4 credit courses in first year.
Okay.
And then go on co-op for from spring to summer. Would we be allowed to take 3 courses in fall?
Yeah, I would allow you, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's-
But the other thing is, if you take those 5 courses and you don't get a co-op in January, right? Now you have to take 2 courses, right? So now you've only 1 course left to take.
So we can take additional courses, right?
No, when you hit the 32 credit mark, right? You have to graduate.
Have to grade.
You have to graduate. You can't just keep on taking more courses. That's an immigration rule, because they don't want people coming here and just keep on being a student. They want to take your degree and move on. Yeah, I mean So
we can't take 1 course in the semester.
no,
In the
no.
Well, in your graduating term, if you only have 1 more course to take, you are allowed.
In your last semester, yes.
To just take that last
Yeah,
class.
in your
So
last-
it doesn't mean you take 8 hours
not
if you
in
don't
this-
need 8 more hours.
Not in the next spring. Like, we're not allowed to take 1.
No, if you take like spring 19,
Yes.
no. If it's a regular semester, if it's not your last semester, you have to take 8 credits, yes.
So if we take 2 in the spring and then 1 in the fall, is that allowed without a co-op?
I mean, this year or next
So
year?
this year complete 5.
This year you take 5.
5. Next year, if there is no co-op, then
2 in the
take
spring.
2 in the spring and 1 in the
Yes,
fall.
yes,
allowed.
that's fine. In your last semester, because you're going into the fall then with 28 credits. They don't make you take more than you have to take. In that case, you only have to take 1 course. Yeah. Yeah, but it all depends what the courses. I mean, you got to look at what courses are available and things like that. Because sometimes I really want to take this course because it's not going to get offered the next time. So sometimes people make choices to take 3 courses for that reason. Because this is a course I really want to take. I mean, and if that's the case, I will certainly approve it. But in general, if you start early part in your program, you start taking 3 courses, you're going to finish earlier than you expect, because you can't really slow down, really, If you take 3 this semester, 3 next semester, you're ready to graduate in June of the following year. I mean, nobody can stop you graduating unless you get a co-op,
So about the course assistant, we only can be the course assistant of our telecourse.
That's right, yeah. Well, you could be, maybe. They're the only courses that I control, right? But if you do take a course, say, I don't know, information systems, right? I mean, you do, and you're very good in that course. System course that you're allowed to take, and a computer system engineering course, say, the Java course, and you do very, very well. You may be allowed to take the course. You can ask Dr. Bogara or the professor, can you be a course?
It depends on the professor.
It really depends on the professor and the director of that program, yes. It has nothing to do with me, in other words. But it is possible. I've had students who got TA jobs over in computer science, yeah. But they got them basically by taking a course over there, doing really well, impressing the professor. That's all you got to do. You did really well, and when they say, I want to be an assistant, he says, sure. That's what you got to do. You got to impress them. And also students have got other kinds of jobs over there too, in terms of being, doing kind of research kind of stuff. If you go to a professor and you really impress the professor, who knows?
Changing of majors is possible?
Changing majors is a big deal because you have to really apply for the other program, and then there's the question of, can you transfer credits? And in some cases, you may have some courses, credits can be transferred and some not. So you might be essentially starting all over again. If you get admitted, if the courses are not, if the credits are not transferred, you may end up taking like 40 credits or something like that, yeah. So it's in your interest to not to do it. But I mean, a lot of the programs are fairly flexible, you know. As I say, even in this program here, you can take a lot of software courses, and the students get up working for companies like Amazon and Facebook and so on, which most people would not think as telecom, you know. So, but there is a lot of flexibility. So it's easier, better to try and work within the program you're in, as opposed to hopping around from program to program, unless you really want to take an awful lot of courses. The actual title of your degree is not the most important thing. What is really important when you're looking for a job is what you know. Okay, that's what they don't say, oh, you have a degree in telecom, not in this, software development or whatever. No, if you know the material, you get hired. If you know the stuff, you get hired. They don't really care.
So if we want to take the courses that are not on the list,
Mm-hmm.
and I applied and you agreed, and if there is any influence to, because it's not on the list.
Any
Bad influence.
bad influence? I mean, does it look bad? In the sense of...
It means some
Bad repercussion maybe?
yeah, like the credits problem.
No, I mean, if it's a 4-credit course, you get to take a course in computer science, right? Which is not on the list, you know, and I say, sure. That's fine, yeah. I mean, the other thing I should note is, if you want to take a course in say computer science, say whatever, and I say yes, right, and you fill in the petition form afterwards so that Alison has all the paperwork. That's not a guarantee that you will be able to get into that course. You still might get blocked by computer science. They might say you don't have this prerequisite, or sometimes they might say this course is only for computer science students. I mean, these things happen. I mean, like there's a course this semester, was it wireless networking, was it? Yeah, in computer science, which is one of our electives, right? And students wanted to take it, and they were told by computer science that, maybe it wasn't that course, it was some other course, but some course that one of our approved electives, and they said, engineering students can't take this course this semester, because they were doing something special with the course. In fact, they weren't taking, even the regular computer science students weren't being allowed to take it. So these things do happen sometimes, you know. So that's completely outside our control, right? I mean, when I say yes, you can take a course, that means if you take this course, it will count towards your degree. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that you will get into the course. That you might get blocked for some other reason, you know, either a prerequisite or something, whatever. Who knows? And the other thing to recognize is that when you go to when courses come available, like for fall and so on, in the banner system, right? Usually there's a delay. If you want to take a course in computer science, right? They usually give priority to their own students first. They won't open it for about a week or so. I think it's about a week. They only allow computer science students to register, and then they open up to everybody else. I mean, you know, because there are so many students here, you know, and they like to give some preference to their own students. And I think some of our programs do the same thing, don't they? Or maybe they do, yeah. Because we don't do it, but other programs, engineering, do it, because otherwise students come in elsewhere, and the students who are in that program can't get into their own programs, you know. So yeah, it's sometimes these classes fill up for a lot of students here, you know. So don't get frustrated by these things, but they do happen, yeah. Okay, is that it? Any more questions? Okay then.